Okay, next task here is to strip the base of the camera. This means removing leatherettes. So I usually start with the advanced knob. Slide your scalpel around underneath that leatherette. And you don't want to bugger it up because of course there's no more leatherette. Here we have it. Pop that to one side. Alright, 3 screws. That one's reluctant. That one's okay. Somebody's probably been over generous with the adhesive. One more go. Here we go. It's off. Here's the advanced knob. That has a little rubber insert in here. That should be present. If it's not, it needs to be replaced. Right. The back catch cover, 2 screws. When you take this off, you have to be quite careful not to lose the spring that's behind you. There it is, just jumped out, tried to get away. Careful not to lose that. Get in there, you bugger. Now the leatherette. I can just tell by the way this feels that the camera's been serviced before. The adhesive is very rubbery. If it had been the original adhesive, that's quite brittle and the leatherettes peel off fairly easily. This stuff has got some stick to it, and the scalpel blade does not want to run up underneath the adhesive easily. You can see I'm using the scalpel blade to pry the leatherette off as much as cut the adhesive. If you get a difficult leatherette, it's sometimes easier to start at each end and work back towards the centre to try and get around this piece. That boss in the centre, of course, is not a tripod mount, but it was the alignment point for mounting the camera on a bracket for a copy stand or something of a similar nature. So there's no thread in there. Occasionally you'll see cameras that are very ugly at that point because someone has done their level best to force the 1/4" Whitworth screw into that smooth and unthreaded socket. Right, I'm peering under the edge of this leatherette now. I can see the adhesive. It's the same sort of stuff I use. Rubbery, yellow, very gooey. That leatherette will have to be cleaned up before it goes back, but it's come off really good, no problems. Under here, now that little cover plate, there are 2 of them on the base plate, little aluminium cover plates. They just cover 2 sections of the base plate here, and it's just to provide a nice smooth surface for the leatherette as much as anything else. Now there are 7 screws on this base plate. Given the look of it, it looks like someone, when they put the leatherette on, they must have just applied the adhesive with a very broad brush, I would say, because this is looks like under seal on a car. It's hard to see where these screws are. I know where to look because I've done so many of them, but you might have to hunt to find them. Right, underneath this plate, which is stuck down from all that glue they'd splashed around the place, there's a spring. It's here. Now that spring's job is to return the latch for the cover plate, the aperture cover that drops down at the back. So without that the shutter won't work properly. You have to be careful to put that back. Commonly with any of the retinas, the tripod socket screws work their way loose. So I normally remove this part and clean it before putting it back. In this case, only one of the screws is loose and the others, probably glued firmly in place. So I'll just put a little splash of solvent, Ronsonol, lighter fluid. That'll help soften that glue. Somebody went absolutely crazy with that glue and it's probably run into everything. There we go. That's the tripod socket, chrome brass, that'll go through the cleaner. Underneath it is a little aluminium insert that supports the base of the film cassette. We don't need to do anything with that, it's always clean, nothing wrong with it. Okay, well that's the base of the camera.